So this is half shoulder. It's a very good throw. It's called Seoi-nage in Japanese. I don't know all the Japanese because we don't use Japanese in our art, but we just simply call it half shoulder. So let's go through the basis of this throw, explain how it works and how it doesn't work and everything else. So we're going to take the arm. Now his armpit is going to be in the crook of my elbow when I'm doing the throw. The purpose of this movement here is not to throw him, it's to put his chest against my back to enable me to do the throw. That's the point of this. So I'm not trying to do this because that's really difficult to do. Our throws come from our legs, so we're going to be using our legs to do it. So I'm in here, I bend my knees, I bring him forward. If you do it slowly, you'll feel a transition where his weight starts to go on your back and you shove your legs backwards. So what I'm actually trying to do is lift him from his hips. We're talking more about this on some of the other throws we're going to do as well. Some people get this idea. Some people get this idea that they come in here and they want to lift the person straight up and they wonder why it's so flipping hard. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to lift his hips up at 45 degrees. So I go there, bend my knees, I drive backwards. Once his feet are off the ground, he's going wherever I want to put him. The last part of the throw, and I'm going to recap, last part of the throw is similar to chucking a bag of coal off your back. That's the way I always describe it. So you've got something on your back here, a rucksack, one strap, whatever. You're grabbing it and you're just throwing it off. So you want to get rid of this thing straight away. So we're there, bringing him in, bring his chest to my back, bend my knees, shove my bum backwards and tip him off. So he goes out. Not quite at 45 degrees, but he's out at 90 degrees to me. So I'm chucking him off to get his legs over to there. Okay, your turn. So once we're in the air, I would say it's easy. Obviously, you need to practice it and get good at it. But once they're in the air, the next part should be relatively easy. Now, if he was very tall, I've got to bend my knees even further. I used to have a very tall guy I trained. He was literally about 6'7". Thankfully, he wasn't big and heavy, but he was very, very tall. I'm convinced my hips were down about his knee level, because the taller they are, the lower you've got to get. So if you stay as upright as you can on this, so he's upright there, I'm bending down to my knees, all the way down to there, and then I shove backwards. And he still comes off the ground nice and easily. So you'll find with throwing, you'll need to do more squats. We'll deal with squat on another video, but trying to keep your feet fairly parallel, keeping your back upright, making sure you've got a weight on your back, keeping this sort of position, not leaning forward. Does that cover half shoulder, do you think?
Yep.
Mistakes. So what some mistakes do you see with half shoulder?
Hip position would be one.
Hip position? Or do you want to show me the sort of mistake, a wrong version? Correct. So what's happened there? What's caused that? Yeah, it's upside. So do you want to talk us through what you've done and why it's not working?
The problem with this is if you don't put your hips far enough through to the right side of his body, you're on the left side of his body, and as you lift him up, what's going to happen is going to end up walking around your body. If you get your hips further through, then what you'll find is they'll be right behind you, and then when you lean them forward, they end up on your back.
Cool.
Yeah.
Another mistake I see is people bend their heads too low. This is a very high building, but what I generally say to people is keep your eye always, head up, keep your eye on where the ceiling and the roof meet. Ceiling and the roof? No. The wall and the roof meet. Keep your eye on that sort of area. It's quite high up, but you're looking, sort of probably 10 foot up from the air. So, I'll give you an example. So if you're in here and you're looking at the floor, guess what happens? And the risk is you lose your balance and you fall forward. If you look up all the time, you tend to keep your back a bit more upright. Now, if you think about doing a literal squat with a weights bar, if you've never done that, just get a broom handle or something, pinch your mum's broom, stick that on your back. If you did a squat like that, all the weight's going to go on your neck, and you're going to drop it, it's going to cause you some severe damage. So when you do a proper squat, your back is nice and upright, and this is the position you're in, and that's the position you need to be in when you're doing the half shoulder technique. So nice and high there, then you're going to shove your back. At the very end, you bend forward. Once you've lifted them off the ground, you bend forward. What people do is they do this. Kids especially. They're down here and they think that they want to get their head lower to help the throw work. And they do this, and then they go, and they've got no strength left. and the risk is they're going to fall forward. Anything else we see on this one? It's getting the armpit on top of your shoulder. Again, people think that they're throwing the this is to do with the lifting of the person, so they end up putting the arm up there because they think that makes it easier. That's not what it's for. The hips go backwards. Okay? Have we exhausted half shoulder?
I think we are.
There's a lot on that one. So that's half shoulder. So we're going to do 2 more each to finish this off. One from Sutuk. Half shoulder.